All right, I want to talk a little bit about the NRA and the beginning of the NRA. And I don't know why the NRA is not using this, but how was the NRA founded? Because it's a white racist organization.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you got to go back a little bit, because what happened prior to the Civil War was in the southern states, a black cannot have an arm in self-defense of anything, anyway. Of course, he might use it like they did Nat Turner to kill a white guy, and then we can't have that. So what you have is blacks have no self-defense rights. Then you have the 13th Amendment that says all blacks are free in the South everywhere, not just the Emancipation Proclamation in the South.
Can they own a gun?
They could, but what happened was, being free, instantly in the South they started passing what were called the black codes. They had about 11 laws. One of the laws is blacks cannot own guns, they cannot own knives, they cannot own any weapon. They're free. They're citizens. Well, they can't own anything to defend themselves. Then in 1866, you have the Klan that gets started. And the Klan is after driving out all the free blacks and all the Republican whites that freed them. And so at that time, you have in total about 5,000 lynchings. About 75% were of blacks, 25% were of whites.
Right.
So Klan is after anybody that's
Sure.
for black rights. So at that point, the southern states are not doing anything to inhibit the Klan. Often it is the government themselves that is part of the Klan that is going after the blacks. And so NRA rises up in 1871 with 3 Union officers who had fought to end slavery, fought for civil rights for blacks. 2 of them are Union generals, and they start the NRA. And part of the reason is they want blacks to be able to defend themselves individually, use their individual right of self-defense against the Klan, because the government's doing nothing to stop the Klan.
Did they actually train people or help have...
Well, what they said was, we want people to be proficient in the use of marksmanship and firearms. So if you're going to shoot a gun, don't shoot the wrong guy. You know, we're going to show you how to shoot guns. And it was a lot of the Freedmen's Bureau thing, because these people have never handled guns, they've never had education at all. So it's another step in helping get everyone to enjoy their Second Amendment right.
Okay, when we come back, real quick, I want to just touch base. Do we have time now? Okay, it's good. So tell me quickly, first attempt at gun controls, not after Abraham Lincoln shot.
No.
Not after McKinley. Not after Garfield.
No. And matter of fact, they go the opposite direction. I mean, George Washington armed revolt. He had put down 2 of them. He never called for gun control. He just punished the perpetrators.
Right.
So Whiskey Rebellion, Shays Rebellion, you get Lincoln shot, never called for gun control. We'll take care of Booth and Surratt and all the others. 81, you get Garfield shot, never called for gun control. There was an insane guy, Guiteau, who did it. In 1901, McKinley gets shot, not a call for gun control. Matter of fact, the next Congress, they passed all sorts of laws to bolster the Second Amendment.
The highest year of mass killings is not even in this decade or the last decade.
No.
It's 1929.
That's right.
Height of prohibition and corruption like crazy. In 33?
34.
34, FDR comes out. First one to do gun control. Then we have more gun control with LBJ, but not because of...
Well, actually, LBJ was. Because
no, but he was not because of Kennedy. There was no cry for gun control under Kennedy, right?
Well, no cry for gun control. It was 5 years later.
But then after Martin Luther King,
Kennedy,
there was.
MLK, Malcolm X, Robert Kennedy.
Correct.
4 big guys went down.
And then the assault weapons ban and the handgun control, that actually was started by James Brady. But the interesting thing is the guy who was shot and almost died on the table, Ronald Reagan.
Yep.
What did he do?
Fought gun control. Was not going to allow it to, and it didn't. It didn't come in. I mean, it came in 15 years later, essentially, after. So you have the press secretary of Reagan who is for it, but Reagan himself says, no. We punish the perpetrators. We're not taking everybody's guns away. And that we just fought that.
David, what do you think, what should people do if this gun control gets out of hand? And, you have to report to your doctor has to report.
By the way, let me raise one. You mentioned background checks.
Yeah.
I'll point out to you, one of the things that's happened now is a ton of Christians are getting arrested for preaching or for whatever. That's a criminal record now. You have a number of pro-lifers who are arrested because they protest abortion clinics. So we're taking guns away from all these people?
That's why you need the NRA. Again, just like you did in the 1800s.
Exactly.
For the same exact reasons.
Exactly right.
Little loopholes that keep you out of things. But also you have people who are coming back with, post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Exactly.
And they're now mentally unstable. I guess we only have about 30 seconds, so it's unfair to ask you this. How do you react if they come to your door?
You got to be grounded yourself internally on your principles. You got to have those spiritual, religious principles. You got to have the constitutional principles. I react. I will not. I've got all sorts of attorneys. You will not touch my guns. You will not enter my house. I have a Fourth Amendment right. And so I'm going to push back.
If they say we're going to arrest you, you let them arrest you, and you go for the law.
I've got all sorts of attorneys I will call that do this for free. And all of us do. We all have lots of legal help. We push back hard. No reason to use violence at this point.
Right. Good. Back in just a second.